Yeah, in a nutshell, I've been blessed to be in three different units that uh, used an arms room style concept when equipping the soldier. Um, and at one point, it just got ridiculous. I think in 2005, I had a giant Pelican case, the big square ones. I mean, like not the rectangle ones, the gigantic square boxes with the extendable handles. And I had three belt-fed machine guns and something else in there, and I would just drag it along from fob to fob. Like Mark 48, Mark 46, HK21 Echo, SR 25 broke down. Two 416s. I mean, it was ridiculous. I had every gun that I could possibly ever want, and so I was blessed where I could do what I wanted. I could see the enemy, figure out the trends, figure out the distances, figure out the intermediate barriers, figure out the engagement durations. How far away was I from vehicles and resupply? Temperatures, other environmental factors, soldiers' load. I mean, it was all wide open for me. Unequivocal conclusion that if there is not a terminal ballistic reason why you need to carry a 7.62 cartridge, then you should not be carrying a 7.62 cartridge. I've said it a couple times in private and in public. When I go to Afghanistan, to places where I'm not going to be engaging a lot of technical vehicles. And then I look at the Adobe, and this is Adobe that I've done live ballistic testing on. This is Adobe that I know will take 75 rounds of 50 cal to make an 8-inch hole. 7.62 gets you nothing in terms of intermediate barrier defeat. It does nothing. If I have to empty a can of 50 cal in a cone of fire that is almost dead on top of each other in order to affect a breach in a wall the size that I could stick a hand in a hand grenade through, then a Mark 48 or a 240 Lima, it's doing nothing barrier standpoint. So then you have to look at other factors. Are you a daytime unit or are you a nighttime unit? Are you in a rural environment? There's something to be said for 7 to 1,100 meters, and that extra distance. We're saying doctrinally that the 240 is supposed to extend beyond the saw. And if I was an infantry patrol walking through cornfields in name the valley of Afghanistan, waiting for somebody to shoot at me, you can bet your ass I'm going to bring 7.62 machine guns, a lot of them, and all the ammo. But if you're conducting night operations, and the only max limitations are your ability to properly target ID and process using night vision, then the chances of you needing the distance that a 7.62 belt-fed machine gun provides over a 5.56 isn't there. And in order to get the effectiveness of these machine guns, you've got to bring your tripods, which most of these guys aren't going to do anyway. So we're talking about machine guns. That's why I'm staying away from maximum effective distances really in this conversation, and guided more towards terminal effects and intermediate barrier defeat, because that's the only argument for an individual rifle in a terrain other than someplace like Afghanistan, where it's like, yep, there is nobody on that mountain that is American. Yep, those are green tracers. They're coming back at me. I don't need an ACOG, or an 3 to 18 scope to figure out that the people on that other mountain shooting back at this mountain are hostile, and therefore I can get out there and get after them. But if you go to the environment like Iraq, there's no need for that battle rifle. It serves no purpose. The 7.62 cartridge serves no purpose. Potentially, maybe a niche, throw a mag, a black tip in for some type of vehicle defeat of a light skinned vehicle or something, trying trying to run over your element or get away or something like that. But even then, I would say that the vast majority of vehicles that I've seen stopped are fluid loss due to hose puncture and potentially starting secondary fires and or electrical failure as a result of disruption of the wiring package. So you're not really killing anything with your bullets anyway in terms of like punching metal and all that. If you can get through the side of the damn truck and get into there and start thrashing hoses, how much bullet ass do you need to bust a hose that's got some fluid in it that's important to the running of that engine and make it stop doing that? So when we throw all of that in with, let's compound that on top of our soldiers can't shoot, and therefore every round they fire that is as heavy as 2 rounds that is a miss is basically we're going to take our incompetent soldiers and double their miss probability by per round of their basic load by capita, however you want to work that factor out. So 75 misses when you're carrying 120 bullets is much worse than 75 misses when you're carrying 210 bullets. It's simple math. And so you're now doubling down on that soldier's piss poor marksmanship. Yeah, he might be able to, get some better lethality if he actually hits a human being with this bullet. It's kind of it's one of the reasons why the Rangers, I hate using analogies and bouncing around, but it's one of the reasons why the Rangers stopped carrying AT-4s and went back to laws right after the GWAT started. Because people miss with rockets, and a law weighs as much as half a rocket. So when you carry 2 laws, you have twice the opportunity to get it right as with the AT-4. And I'm done. Sounds pissed away. Or 2 laws. Boosh. Damn, my range estimation sucks. Add 50 to that one, Smitty. Boom. And now we have a burning Toyota pickup truck. So you're taking your lethality probability and increasing it, or your hit probability and increasing it by increasing the amount of bullets that you're carrying. So every 2 5.56 rounds is a spoiler shot followed by another shot compared to every 7.62 round that's fired. And spoiler shots are a thing. We've all seen it. We all saw Air Force counter precision fire element sniper guy on Top Shot get crushed working his data and taking a 32-second shot with the Barrett at 1,000 yards when the action shooter guy runs up to the Barrett, lays down, fires around in the berm, moves it in his Christmas tree and fires a second shot and gets a hit at 17 seconds. And the sniper's like, that's bullshit. And I'm like, that's a truck that just blew up, buddy. Sorry. Go back and watch some cheesy Mark Burnett reality TV. They get it. Combat spoilers are a thing. And you just don't have the bullets to be willy-nilly pissing them around out there. If I thought that our chain of command was smart enough that they would maintain the same amount of magazines carried and just reduce the total number of rounds the soldier carries as such, I could almost feel good about this. But we won't. We'll fuck it up. And if they're making them carry 7 mags now, they're going to make them carry 7 mags or 9 mags or 10 mags or 11 mags of 7.62. And that's going to get you into second, third order effects. In addition to the sheer weight put on the soldier, reducing his effectiveness, increasing fatigue, things of that nature, you're also going to increase bulk on the soldier. The soldier's bulk is going to go exponentially. I already fight trying to get soldiers to stop carrying double stack magazines on their front. It's going to become a requirement. You're going to have to do it. There's going to be no real estate not to. So you're going to have double stack 7.62. It's going to stick out further. It's going to eat up magazine pouches faster. There's going to be an unfactored nylon life cycle going on at the CIF that nobody knew about. They're going to buy these pouches and be like, oh, this is a one-time thing. We're going to replace the 5.56 pouches with, whatever KDX, KDH, or SDS shit fucking Cordura knockoff crap that we decide to buy as a government. Soldiers are going to wear that, and the corner of their double-stacked SR mags are just going to rip right through that nylon and immediately start destroying the feed lips on whatever lowest bidder magazine we decide to go with for our 7.62 rifle that isn't going to feed worth a fuck anyway. And then people aren't going to be able to climb, not going to be able to go over a wall, not going to be able to, hop a fence. Guys are going to be getting caught up. We're going to relearn all the lessons that it took over a decade to slick down the guy's body armor to a manageable level like you see today. The guys that are salty, that have been around back when we were still fighting and not just training and advising, most of those guys, and as a second, third order effect, their subordinates have pretty slick gear. I don't believe that is going to continue. When I was with an element that was running 7.62 battle rifles, I remember we were doing some stuff from aircraft, and the guy had 7.62 magazines on his back because he refused to double stack on the front, and he had mags loaded in a bag on the aircraft, and the dude would mag dump as we were landing, and then somebody else in the helicopter would have to combat squire and pass him a loaded mag over his shoulder from the go bag, and he was topping off his rifle as he was stepping onto the ground, getting out of the helicopter to ensure that he had the maximum amount of ammunition available because of the reduced cube space on his gear. And I remember multiple times while we were out there, I'd walk by him and I'd hear, psst, psst, hey man, what's up? Hey, I need the ammo off my back. And I'd walk up and he'd have like one mag left on the front of his gear and a cargo pocket full of empty 20s. And I'd have to take he doubled up on the back because he wasn't climbing over fences on his back. So he had a double stack 308 mag pouch. I have to pull the two 308 mags out and hand them to him, and then take two empties out of his pocket and reload his pouch on his back. Finally, not to beat this horse any further dead, but I had as an ammo accountability guy, when I came into an outstation, I would have to sign for all the ammo and maintain the ammo from the element that I was ripping out with and issue it out to the guys. That was one of my additional duties. I walked in there, and it was this element had deployed with battle rifles, and there were crates of loaded M118 LR, who knows the lot number, thousands of rounds of sniper match ammo in 20-round mags stacked in emptied out ammo, the wooden ammo crates that the ammo cans come in. And I was like, what is all this? And they're like, yeah, man. We ran battle rifles. That shit lasted 2 weeks. So these guys were on a full tour. And in the first 2 weeks, under the arms room concept, the idea of having a sexy 7.62 battle rifle went right out the window, and those guys were back to carrying 10-inch and 14-inch 5.56 weapons. So, we've been down this road. I've been down this road personally. I've had battle rifles available to me, 16-inch this, SCAR that, whatever I wanted to carry, and I just can't get on board with somebody telling me that there is a material defeat threat reason to burden every soldier and our logistics system with a caliber change. This really, really, really starts to sound like the XSAPI program. Everybody know what XSAPI is? Yeah, most of y'all don't. XSAPI was the good idea fairy saying somewhere out there, someplace, there's a threat that can defeat our SAPI plates. So we need to make a threat that'll stop it. Not that that threat's ever been seen in the AOR that our guys are fighting in. And we invested millions of dollars at the end of the free Bush money. And all of those plates sit in a warehouse waiting for this magical magazine of fucking magic bullets that, we're going to bring a dude in on a slab and be like, oh my gosh, look at his ESAPI plate. Whatever shot him went through him like a hot knife through butter. And then we're going to call down to Kuwait, and 15 C-17s are going to swoop in and start handing out plates to everybody. You know why? You know why that plan has to be that asinine? Because those plates are so fucking stupid and heavy that even the generals know putting that shit on our soldiers right now when that threat does not present itself is tantamount to fucking negligence. And we're about to do the same thing with a rifle. We're about to do the same fucking thing with a rifle. So you heard it here first.